Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelorette Recap, a guy's review. We're nearly towards the end of Katie's season. I mean, can you believe this? It's like every day I wake up and another episode passes and life flashes before our eyes, and we're like, what's the existential meaning of it all? No wonder the billionaires want to go, shoot a rocket into Mars. It's like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Well, what am I doing here? I'm making Bachelor-related news. It's Dave Neal. If anyone has any, joy brought to you by this video, click the like button and subscribe. We are inching our way to 50,000 subscribers. 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time live stream today. Enjoy the live stream. Next week, I can't promise I'll be live streaming. I have to see what the bandwidth is like in the place I may or may not be. I'm leaving the country. So, not for good, just, I'm getting out of town after a year and a half of being holed up, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'll be making content, don't worry about me, but I might not be doing live streams. So join us today at 4 p.m. for that live stream, some other big announcements happening. And this video, obviously, if you see the title, we're going to be talking about, body shaming. And, here's the deal. The title of this article will read, Jason Tartick slams nasty comments critiquing Kaitlyn Bristowe's appearance. It's grotesque. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir here when I say, what's going on? I don't know anybody who does this, yet it's rampant online. I don't know anybody who's, shaming people's, body and saying all these hurtful comments, but we know it's out there. So it's like, show yourself, show your face. You know what I mean? Part of the anonymity of the internet, and again, having done stand-up comedy for about a decade now, never have really had any issues in person. I've had, drunk people say oh, you have a stupid haircut. I mean, I've heard it all, you know what I mean? So I have heard some things from drunk people, but nothing compared to what people online are willing to say. And it makes you wonder, is the anonymity that exists a sort of scapegoat that just lets people say what they want? You would never get in road rage with someone in front of your own house because it's like you live there. People now know where you live. Small towns, you don't beep your horn because everyone knows each other. So it's like, oh, Jeff over there is beeping his horn at people. It's when you live in a big city or when you're in a, feel like you're a caged rat that the worst side of us comes out. So I don't necessarily have an answer for all this other than, unless you call every single person out, there just needs to be bigger changes systemically. And I just don't know if we're going to get there. But let's see what Jason has to say. Of course, Jason engaged to Kaitlyn Bristowe. She's co-hosting this season of The Bachelorette and next season of The Bachelorette. Clapping back, Jason Tartick is standing up for his fiancee Kaitlyn Bristowe and speaking out after all the negative comments regarding her looks. Following his appearance on the Monday, July 12th episode of The Bachelorette, Tartick, 32, joined Clickbait with Bachelor Nation podcast hosts on Thursday to chat about his cameo on Katie Thurston's season. The New York native also spoke out about the hate that the Off the Vine podcast host has received from online trolls. I don't know why people think it's okay to say the stuff they do on Twitter. There's so many things in this world we can control, and there's so many things we can't control. Our looks and things like that are most of the things we can't control. And the way that people make comments, nasty comments about people's appearances, and obviously specifically I'm referring to Kaitlyn, it's grotesque. It's a joke. During the conversation, the Trading Secrets podcast host recalled his lack of understanding about why trolls are so mean and the gender inequities of such comments. I don't see why people have to do that. And the other thing is the fact that it's usually women putting other women down is just insane. When Chris Harrison was up there, were people talking about Chris Harrison's looks? Or when a guy's up there, it's absolutely ridiculous. And I don't get why people think it's okay. I mean, to his credit, my audience is about 91% women. And I think Bachelor skews in similar directions. There might be a little bit, a couple more men watching. But it is a lot of women watching. And is there something about women feeling the sort of right or privilege to criticize other females' looks? I'm not sure. Now, don't get me wrong. Plenty of men too will criticize women's looks, and people will say, oh, it's the grand patriarchy that's a problem. Women wouldn't be so critical of each other if it wasn't for the patriarchy. And again, I don't know where it all began. I'm like the dad yelling at the kids in the back of the car, stop it, knock it off. I don't care who started it. I'll turn this car right around. I'll do it. You know what I mean? The former investment banker explained that such mean-spirited comments have taken a toll on the former Dancing with the Stars winner during her recent tenure as co-host of the ABC reality series. People see it, people hear it, and they feel it, and whether they show it or not, it's going to end. It's got to end. It's insane. While the former reality star acknowledged the opportunities that both he and his partner have received since their appearance in the franchise, it's not a reason for such negativity. I'm not playing the victim card for her, and like you said, what a great opportunity. All of us have been blessed to come on the show, and these things have happened. So with the bad comes good, and when you see some of the bad and you're just like, oh, she's aged. Well, yeah, we all effing age. What do you want to do about that? He added, Kaitlyn would put blast on people, which is something I've always said, I don't know why you do it, but then the more I see her do it, you're like, shoot, maybe you should put people on blast. Last month, the designer clapped back at the online haters who questioned why she looked so different since her first appearance on Chris Soules' season of The Bachelor. At the time, a Twitter user couldn't put their finger on it what changed about Bristowe. She replied via Twitter, 6 years since I was on the show, brow lift, brow microblading, got my teeth bonded, some filler in my lips, aging, darker hair. I finally learned how to contour. Oh, and I put on some weight. Doi. When another troll added that they weren't pleased with seeing her busted appearance, she retorted, so sick of women commenting on my face. Jesus! Bristowe supporters also came to her defense, with one writing at the time, don't forget that you met the love of your life, opened multiple companies, and won Dancing with the Stars. That joy leaves a mark. Well, there you have it, folks. So the question's a bigger one than just how we feel about Kaitlyn Bristowe or you know, the individual mudslinging that happens. We look at someone like Britney Spears, right? She's 39. She's got a couple of kids. She's traveled the world as one of the biggest pop superstars ever. And people are like, yeah, but she looks like she's aging. So, you know, Jason knocked it right. It's effed up. We're all aging. We're all getting there. How can we learn to appreciate something we're all going through? And part of it is just hate, hurt people. So there's a lot of people online that just feel like they can take a stab at someone else because that person's doing better than them. And that's fine too. But the whole idea of like, oh, you signed up for this. I think we need to move to a higher level of enlightenment where you don't get the right to criticize someone because they signed up for it. I don't like that. I don't like the whole, well, you signed up for it, so you should take it on the chin. I don't know, guys. What do you think? What are we going to do to move forward and move up? The problem is most people in their life live a life of anonymity. They can, they're a bank teller, they're working at Target, they're running the drive-thru at In-N-Out Burger, whatever the case may be. It's like you have to sort of expose people on an individual level for them to necessarily feel the empathy of what it's like to be targeted for your looks or by other people. I don't have an answer. I don't know. If you guys do, let me know in the comment section. I will say this. Oxygen breathes life into situations. And when you do ignore things, they really do dissipate way faster. Like if Kaitlyn didn't have her comment section, and if the media didn't report on what people in comment sections were saying, none of this would exist. None of this would exist. So it's almost like, can we just pull the plug on the comment section? And I don't want you to get rid of my First Amendment rights. It's like, well, it's the companies, again, and YouTube, this is their part of their business model. Magazines, blogs, Reddit chains, the companies generate a lot of traffic by the discussion that happens within the comment section. So Fox News and CNN and every other media company in between, they generate their money through a capitalistic, like, pay-per-click system. Well, what does that lead to? It leads to companies knowing how they can pull the worst out of people. It leads to companies, whether media companies or magazines or wherever the case may be, it leads them to figuring out how to bring out the worst in people, show an unflattering photo. People are going to click on it. All the shock jock things that we just live in this weird sensationalized time where social media and new media is still rare. It's still really new. It's only the last 10 years, the last decade or so that we've kind of been like, oh, how are we going to profitize this? And back in the day, you'd buy the newspaper, you'd spend the 50 cents on the newspaper, you'd open it up, you'd get the news. Now they're saying no one's buying the newspaper. How are we going to get people to open it up? Well, we're going to share what one Twitter user said about Kaitlyn's face. And it's like, that person shouldn't exist. They shouldn't be on the radar. They just shouldn't exist. In what crazy world does some wild loser in their basement or their wherever the hell they are, in what wild world do they even get the chance to comment on Kaitlyn Bristowe? I don't know. Leave a comment on my channel. I ask you, keep it positive. I think, and again, There might be a day when my channel blows up to a certain size where I can't control it. But I think for the most part, the discourse we have in our comment section is a direct reflection of the people that watch and understand that that people can say and do hurtful things, but there's a maybe sometimes more challenging, more respectful, more gracious response that can treat people like they're in your family, treat people like they're in your friend circle, treat people like they live on your cul-de-sac. If we did that with everybody, boy, we would lift so much problem and so much unneeded bandwidth that goes towards hate and negativity. Because just remember this, if you're in the comment section typing away something negative, you're feeling that negative energy. It's the law of attraction. You can't give someone negative energy without you feeling it. So if I'm going to get riled up at someone after I read their comments and I'm going to get super mad, I'm now feeling that. And then what do I become as someone with a platform? How do I share that negative energy and watch how it just spreads? I reject that idea. We're going for positivity, folks. We're going for the good. There's too much good in this life. Don't give the negative comments. But listen, I know I'm guilty of this, but with excuse. If someone leaves me a negative comment, but it's so stupid and it's so ignorant and it's so whatever, chances are I'm going to respond and then share it on my social media. Henceforth, rallying up the soldiers and shoving it back up that troll's butt. Okay, so sometimes there's a little bit of parlaying that can do. But again, Jason Tartick, I've had this issue with Tasha before where people leave comments. We've gone down rabbit holes fighting with people before. We realize it just leaves us feeling dirty because it's not a fair fight. So do your best out there to not breathe life and breathe oxygen into that sort of argument. It's not a fair fight. Don't have it. Move along, folks. All right, let me know what you guys think. 4 p.m. live stream today. I just released, let's see if I have it right here. I just released a video flying a drone through Los Angeles neighborhood fireworks. So if you guys want to check this out, it's bananas. It's on my vlog channel. Look at this. Oh, I'm trying to play it in 4K, so it might not play. Fun, right? This is my neighborhood. Isn't that crazy? This is 4th of July. So we did some other aspects of the, I showed people on the Patreon. I send them postcards and all that. So I made a whole bunch of behind the scenes stuff. So if you guys want to go see that, you can click the link below, or there'll be a link in the little thing and you can go watch that vlog. Go give it some life and some love. It doesn't get as many views because I'm not talking about Dale's toes. You know what I mean? But I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you guys later on. Bye now.